AITA for telling my brother that his son is not a monster for not being his wife's emotional support human? My nephew Grayson is 15 years old. When he was 8, his mom and unborn sister passed away after she had a placental abruption. Gray was in the car with his parents at the time it happened, and he watched his mom die. My brother Ken also watched his wife die. It was incredibly traumatic for both of them. Ken fell apart, and so did Gray, but Ken focused more on his own grief and healing than he did on Gray's and ignored Gray's grief further when he decided 18 months later that he was ready to date again. Ken met his second wife, Vera, when Gray was 10, and they got married 5 months into their relationship. Vera told Gray that she would do everything she could to be a good mom to him and fill the shoes his mom left better than anyone could. She joked more than once that she might even be better than his old mom. That, along with Gray feeling like Ken was replacing his mom and doing everything too fast, meant Gray never liked or bonded with Vera. She has tried very hard to get close to him, but he's not interested. I tried talking to Ken about getting Gray help and talking to a therapist himself. My parents always assure Ken Gray will come around in time. A little over a year ago, Ken and Vera's son was stillborn due to a fatal fetal abnormality that ran in Vera's family, which she was not aware of. She ended up needing a C-section because of complications, and afterward she was no longer able to have more children. Gray did not have much of a reaction to the loss. He was open with me that he really didn't feel any grief despite everyone expecting him to. To him, he lost no sibling when his half-brother was stillborn. He was never excited for him or considered him anything more than his dad's baby with someone. But everyone has expected it, and even our parents told Ken that Gray would fall apart in time. During all this, Vera has wanted Gray to be there for her and comfort her and be the son he has never wanted to be to her. Recently, Vera made a greater effort to try and get Gray to be there and comfort her. She confronted him and told him she needed him to be more caring. This happened in front of my parents and my family. She told him she feels like he doesn't care, that he can't even support his family. He told her she is not his family and he won't ever be there to support her. Ken jumped in and said it's like he doesn't care, and that's sick. He then went on a rant about how Gray should be so much more concerned and loving toward Vera, and he called him a monster for refusing to be there for her after the worst loss of her life. I told Ken that he shouldn't talk to Gray that way. I told him Gray is not a monster for refusing to be Vera's emotional support human, and that he expected way too much given the very sour and complicated relationship that was there already. My parents and Ken thought I was horrifically wrong for stepping in. Gray thanked me, and he told me Ken doesn't get that he views him as a cold monster and that he's ashamed of him. AITA.